Hola Unconventionals, I'm Amelia.
And I'm JP.
And we're sharing our unconventional life with you from Ecuador.
And today we are in Dos Mangas, which is about 10 minutes inland from the ocean. And we're on a beautiful farm. We're going to introduce you to some truly unconventional expats.
Before we introduce you to the Unconventionals, if you're new to our channel or you're thinking of visiting or moving to Ecuador, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell please.
Because we show you what it's really like to live in Ecuador.
We're super excited to introduce you to Luis and Kimberly. They are the owners of the Soluna Tea House and Sanctuary here in Dos Mangas.
Yeah, and they left their conventional life behind in New York City and moved to the country here in Ecuador.
I'm from Queens. We're both from pretty much the same neighborhood. Maybe a few blocks, 10, 20 blocks from each other.
Span.
I worked at a law firm. And it was like law firm, law school. We're going to be just like you guys. And all of a sudden 2009 comes and they laid off 300 of us. We had already purchased this property and we were just trying to get here little by little. And we were like, how are we going to be able to come here permanently? When that happened, we got on our knees and said, thank you, God. Because now you're giving us the opportunity. And that's when I felt like, I was free. It's sort of like this cage that you think you can't break out of. And once you do, you see the other side, and everybody's back in there going, how did he do it?
Here, it's possible. It's possible to live your dream. It's possible to get ahead and create something that you always desired in your heart. That's why I love South America in general. Because South America is open. Because it's a developing country. It's still developing. It still needs new concepts mixed in with the old, but respecting each other. That's the biggest thing. You can come to Ecuador, but it's about respect. It's about working together, creating unity, and learning each other's knowledge.
I saw that category go through in life when I started working. What category are you in? What kind of insurance can you get? What kind of credit are you going to get? What kind of vacations will you be able to get? What kind of house can you get? So I realized that if I followed that conveyor belt, I was going to get the same everybody else was going to get. It was like categorized and you were just branded. This is what you're going to do for the rest of your life. When the market crashed, I realized, no, I need to go to this unconventional life because it's mine finally. So a lot of the unconventional definition for me is the fact that you finally are empowered with your own life as opposed to thinking, I'm just going to let somebody else deal with it.
For me to up and leave and come to this was completely unconventional. It was something that I needed. We needed as a family. I wasn't able to have kids when I was in New York, but when I got here and I had a family, I was like, this is exactly how I planned my future.
And Kim decided, we wanted to do a cafe in Montañita. Beautiful, beautiful cafe. We lived upstairs, for the first 4 years. It was, our little haven, our idea what we wanted to give to the public. We called it Soluna. And so it was something that was a labor of love.
We actually relocated our place here in Villa Dos Mangas. And this place was more ideal for what we wanted to try to create. Montañita was great. We really loved it. It was a great atmosphere, a great time. But we wanted to be closer. I became a mom, and so I had to raise my children. So I have a 6 and 4-year-old. And so Soluna Sanctuary Tea House was recreated here where we're at right now. And so it was a little cabin. We started from scratch with a piece of paper and draw it, and this is what was created. And so this place has been a great place for people to do retreats, where you can actually come and have your teas. And I also am a massage therapist, so I actually do treatments with medicinal plants as well. So with that, the combination was great between art, massage, the teas. So it extended more than just a tea house because of the space that thank God we had available to us.
we're able to, live on our farm with our own water, raise our children with nature, with all the insects and all the birds and all the trees and all the plants. I grew up in a tenement building. I didn't get that opportunity, to be able to offer that to my daughters, to my sons that are now older. For us to know that every day is a blessed surprise. We don't harbor fear because we know we've gone this far.
The word destiny, the word living your dream, those things chime to me every single day. Knowing that I was, with my husband, able to grow such a beautiful place. I see a whole bunch of overgrown monte, which is weeds. And you can recreate because it comes from the heart. And when you start walking every single day through this land, and the years that we've passed through here with my mother-in-law, with Louis, my daughters, it's a life-changing situation for me every single day because I learn every single day. And because I've learned, all this stuff has made me grow inside as a person.
We like to consider ourselves land stewards. And what's behind the word is the fact that we don't really own the land. The land sort of owns us. We serve the land.
Yes.
I think if humanity decided to each be a land steward and take its own little piece of the world to manage, as opposed to argue with governments about why they don't take care of their own stuff, well, there is that disconnect. Once everyone has this little piece that they can protect that little piece, as opposed to going, why did it go so bad? It went bad because we forgot. We went to the cities. We went all for efficiency. We didn't know what efficiency was. It ended up being efficiency to make someone richer than anybody else. And we forgot our connection.
This is a healthy lifestyle. And I would encourage most people to want to start something like this, to look for land in these rich areas of Ecuador and start small. You can create an oasis just for yourself.
My mom, who I always just like to say is 98% of this whole operation, has recently passed away. And we are sort of trying to figure and define ourselves now that she's gone. It's sort of come full circle. When she finally retired after 35 years, and she was in Guayaquil, another big city, I told her, Mom, you just lived in a big city for 35 years. You're going to retire in Guayaquil. That's when the idea was to buy this property. And when, at the time, my mom was in her early 70s, and I said, Mom, would you like to buy a farm? And she came down here 2 weeks later. She told me, son, this is heaven on earth. Let's do this. But to me, it was like, well, this is what your dream. It's my dream too, go back to nature. My daughters, they leave their house and run past the plantain field and go, they go see my mom. And, that to me was just this wonderful story that I could really say, this is my life. It's nothing like the city, but it's almost like a storybook. It's no longer there because my mom is not here. But her granddaughters know their
grandma's house.
Know their grandma's house. Know her grandma's culture and her ways.
Yes.
That they would never forget. As young
machete,
as they are.
the clay pot cooking,
and just that work ethic. It's
opening
priceless.
up cacao pods. That was one of my favorite things to do, is to go with Mom into the cacao crops that we had here, and she would just, with a machete, blah, 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 3 ways and open it up, and I'm like, Mom, it's delicious, and I would and she's like, don't eat too much.
Now that she's gone, it's only good, wonderful things that I can think about. I could think about the sadness, about missing her, but the main thing is what she left, her legacy for us to continue.
I couldn't ask for a better life than this right now. To be in this marriage, to be a mom, It's not easy. It's been hard. You know, we've had our moments like every other couple, and you're going to go through that. Oh, that's another thing coming here from the States. You're going to question individually yourselves as people, and you're going to question if you made the right decision. And as couples, you probably will go through a quarrel or two. But at the end of the day, you're in the right spot. You're in the right place.
Wow, it was so nice to get to know them better and to hear their inspiring story.
It was, and I really enjoyed walking around the property with them, and they talked all about the indigenous plants and what their medicinal uses are and what they're doing as conservation efforts to help preserve them.
Well, I'd like to come back and spend the day here and do their day retreat and get a massage and, of course, enjoy the tea. The teas are delicious, and just hang out and relax. I feel very, very relaxed right now.
It is extremely relaxing, and the teas are amazing.
Actually, I feel very rejuvenated at the same time.
Both. I will put a link to their information in the description below, so be sure to check there if you would like to come visit and spend the afternoon in a tranquilo setting here in the countryside, just not too far from Olón.
No, it's not.
Yeah. All right, guys, that's all we have for this video. If you enjoyed it, leave us a thumbs up.
Yes, please. We hope you have an unconventional day, and we'll see you all in our next video.
Ciao.
Ciao.